morning. This is Joe Shoop. You've joined the Breakfast Club with Dan and Joe. And if you're joining us, say hello and tell us where you're calling from. We are at the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and mute the lines anyway. But say hello.
This is Tom from Phoenix.
Oh, welcome. Welcome.
Angelo from Toronto.
Thanks. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this here. Here we go. We'll mute the lines.
Conference muted.
Okay, good morning. This is Joe Shoop. You've joined the Breakfast Club. Let me give you a quick rundown of something. You attend these calls and so on. Some of you don't know where this is all, why we're at the Breakfast Club, and maybe you do, but, this club was created close to 15 years ago, and it was for people like yourself. Like-minded entrepreneurs that wanted to discuss money-making strategies, and the format is different today simply because we are focusing on one company. In the past, we did not. We focused on a couple of different companies, and they could have been outside companies. Conventional people businesses would come on, and we would help them with certain strategies in marketing and bring guests and so on, but we are totally focused on KB Gold, KB Vision, and fortunately we have a couple of great leaders that come on our call, and they are part of the discussion panel, Joe Norman, Dan Giralmo, and Dr. Dennis, and we are going to make an announcement on Tuesday regarding another time slot with the Breakfast Club. Not a change, but an additional time slot to honor those people who cannot make it in the morning. And I can tell you, I think I'll say this up front, we are really looking for some serious women, female participants who want to be on the panel, people that are working the business, that understand the business, and want to help others to do the same. We do recognize that this panel consists of men, and we do have guests like Cheryl on once in a while, but we would like to have some people who want to participate and help others, but those who are working, those who know how to work this business and are participating and growing with the business. So I want to keep that open. If you have a suggestion, if you have yourself, you want to participate, it will be a nighttime call. So what you do is get a hold of either Joe or me or Dan or Dr. Dennis and say that you'd like to participate, and we'll talk. We'll tell you the format. We're going to be there. We're going to be there as a guest as well, but it will be conducted by the women. So I think it's a good idea, and it will be a nighttime call, actually a few of them. So I wanted to make that announcement. It's not official yet. We are looking. We have a great leader in Hawaii that will be participating, hopefully, and we're looking for a couple other panelists. So please keep that in mind with any suggestions or recommending yourself. But that being said, let's talk about a few things. First of all, Joe Norman, can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Okay, so how about if we go to some updates? Is there any news you can give us about what's going on with corporate or the company or advancements here?
Well, there's really no major announcements. Everything's working great. I just made my purchases about an hour ago. As you all know, I follow the markets very closely, and the price of gold is down $200 an ounce at the COMEX. What's happening here, guys? My sources tell me, and my analysts are telling me that traders, people, you see those pictures of the guys carrying the pads and the stuff on the floor of the COMEX and the NYMEX, and these are floor traders, and what they're doing is they're locking in profits. They're selling their gold. Gold's been at or near and setting all-time highs almost every day last week and the week before. And tomorrow, the Federal Reserve Chairman, Ben Bernanke, is expected to make a major, I'm talking major announcement that analysts, my sources tell me, is going to cause gold prices to absolutely soar in price. And today, I mean, we just could not have a better scenario. Gold's been at all-time highs. It's backed off because of our friendly floor traders are locking in, taking their profits. You know, they're selling when the price is high. They're not long-term holders. They're traders. So when the price is setting these all-time high, they sell. Sell causes the price to decline. Well, guys, KB gold and all gold is on sale today, the way I look at it. That's why I bought today. I will also say that 1 gram 99.9 Kinnabar grade is down $3.89 from its all-time high that it hit last week. Look at your spot price in your back office. Today is a buy day. I advise everyone, every single KB member, if you haven't already, today's the day. Buy today is my best advice. Use a credit or a debit card. That gets the money to KB the fastest. We see 2 to 3 4-hour turnarounds, and that will lock in your price today. And then if, as expected, the announcement is made tomorrow and the prices start soaring, you're going to lock in your gains that way. So that is the one thing I wanted to get out there in the open today, Joe.
Perfect. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it. As you know, Joe's on top of the market all the time and knows what's going on. And that brings us to, Joe, about dollar cost averaging. And people sometimes don't understand that. You know, I had somebody say to me that wants to make a deposit or a purchase and said to me, well, we're waiting for the price to go down. So, I mean, I guess we don't have to address that too much. But the bottom line is that, you know, when the dollar cost average, let's take the word dollar cost and let's just go average. It's kind of like a baseball game. It's like a pitcher. It's like a quarterback. You know, you have so many passes and so many completions, and you have an average of how many times he throws the ball and how many times does he complete it. Same thing as a batter and so on. Same thing here. How many times? This is all going to average out. If you buy when it's high, buy when it's low. If you have a position where you're dollar cost averaging or you're making a purchase at the same time every single month, it is going to average out to the normal average price over the last 50 years or whatever. Not so much 50 years, but it's going to average itself out, and you're not going to have to worry about highs or lows. So I don't know if you want to comment on dollar cost averaging.
That's right. I mean, I understand. You know, one of the powerful features of KB's program is it gives, you know, the average ordinary person that doesn't follow the markets, and they're not they don't keep their fingers on the pulse of the rise and the fall of the U.S. dollar and gold and commodities and all that. Well, you know what, that fascinates me, and that I like doing that. But the beauty of KB's program, their monthly purchase plan, gives everyone an opportunity to just dollar cost average. That means you don't have to follow the market. You're going to be the beneficiary of the long-term trend, the long-term bull market. Going back to 1969, the average, again, there's that word, the average annual yearly return on gold, owning gold, the physical stuff, is 11%, guys. It's outperformed every single asset class. Real estate, everything. It's outperformed every single asset class. Stock market, bond market, you name it. Now, great, you know, you can pick stocks that, you know, double, triple, you know, they split and all that. I'm just talking averages. The Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the bond markets. And the dollar cost averaging program, or as KB puts it in their back office, going on contract. It's a commitment to purchase 100 of the 1 gram units over time, and you can do you can do a 500 euro or even more a month plan. You can do a 200, a 100, a 50 euro plan, and we're kind of developing a strategy. Joe, Big Boomer, and I. Actually, it's also John Alfiers is involved in this too, where, you know, someone brand new. You know, let's go back to basics here, and let's say that you know, we used the Big Boomer approach, the three-step plan to expose strike an interest and then expose people to the information, and then we follow up and they say, hey, I'm a 9 or a 10. I'm ready. I'm ready to set up an account. So you set them up with their account. You open their account. Works just like any online bank account. It's free to do that. And step number 2 is you log into your account. You upgrade to affiliate. It's important that you follow up with your people and do that. Make sure they do that. Make sure then step number 3, upload their KYC documents. That's proof of identification and proof of residency to comply with the Patriot Act and banking and anti-money laundering regulations. So open account, upgrade to affiliate, do your KYC documents, and then this 4th step, and the most important, buy some gold, get some skin in the game. And as we've all seen, those of us that have a monthly plan, every month it's appreciating in value. We're making money every month, every week that you wait, and don't do that, you're losing profits. So those are the 4 final steps that people need to memorize is open, upgrade, KYC, and buy gold. Now, we're taking it another step because we are creating some urgency here to wake people up as to what's going on with the economy, with the dollar. As bad as it is here, as bad as our debt, our national debt is, and it's going to get worse because they just passed the debt ceiling limit. So we know that they're going to add at least minimum $2 trillion to our national debt. We know that's happening. So as bad as that is, it's even worse in Europe. So we know that based on history, the government's got to do something to stimulate the economy, and when they get in that mode, they're going to print more money, and so when that happens, it causes inflation. Inflation makes the price of gold go up. So we're trying to create some urgency, wake some people up, and Joe, what we're talking about doing is once we get people started, we help them open their account, we help them upgrade to affiliate, we help them and show them how to do their KYC documents, and we help them and show them how to buy gold for the first time so they understand those 4 principles. When we do that, as we open their account, going back to step 1, I advise people to use the following and deploy the following strategy. Let's just pretend that this person's brand new affiliate's just opening their account's name's Bill. And we played the 2-minute call for Bill. We took him to mykbgold.us. We followed up. We 3-wayed them in with an upline leader, got all their questions answered, and now we collect a decision. Yeah, I'm ready to set up an account. Okay, great, Bill. Where do you see yourself getting started? In other words, do you want to make a little or do you want to make a lot with this program? Well, what do you mean? Well, if you want to make a lot, we get paid 2 ways. The first way we get paid is we buy gold, and we are the beneficiary of the rising price of gold. We make money that way. Second way we make money is we refer others. And the more people we refer, the bigger our organization grows. The more people buy gold, the more we make. So back to basics. Where do you see yourself getting started? Would you like to get started with a €500 a month plan, or a €100 a month plan, or a €50 a month plan? Where do you see yourself getting started? What's more comfortable? We want to encourage. Oh, thank you. Someone just brought us flowers. My wife's father just passed away, so I didn't realize they were at the door. So anyway, we need to give them some alternatives. Joe, people appreciate having a choice, don't they?
Absolutely.
Where do you see yourself getting started, Bill? €500, €100, or €50? If you want to get started with €500 and get yourself 10 grams right out of the gate, I'm going to put you in leg number 1. That's our fastest growing leg. That's the leg that's going to spin off the most cash, and that's the leg that we're going to give the most time and attention to. Let's face it, those are our top clients. Or if you want to get started with €100 a month plan, I'm going to put you in leg number 2. And that's a good place to start. That's where a lot of people start. You can upgrade to 500 if you want to, or you can do anything you want to once you have your own account. But we're talking structure here. Or if you see yourself just getting started with a minimum €50, I'm going to put you in leg number 3. But as you play out that scenario, Joe, everyone's going to have leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. Everyone's going to, if in the perfect world, if everyone learns this technique, everyone's going to have leg 1 with all €500 in it. Everyone's going to have a leg 2 with €100 in it. Everyone's going to have a leg 3. So I believe, as does Boomer, as does all the people that we bounced this off of, this is going to accelerate everyone's earnings and enable people to, A, take advantage of the rising price of gold, and B, generate more points, which, what do we get paid on? We get paid on points. So that's kind of a new strategy that we wanted to bounce off the Breakfast Club, Joe, and get your take on that, and maybe Dr. Dennis's and anyone else that cares to comment or ask
I like
questions.
the idea, Joe. I mean, I like the idea of identifying, who the players are, and I think Boomer is on the track as well as the, identifying the players. Where do you see yourself? And I believe that the question, has all questions that we ask our prospects or our people is, it's either this or it's that. Do you see yourself making a little money, or do you see yourself making a lot of money? Do you see yourself here or there? Which one is it? Their choice. They have to have the choice. But you give them two choices, and I think this identifies them. Do you see yourself, on contract as this or with that? And because if it's that, it's this, and if it's this, and then here's the leg. I love it. I think it's a great idea. I think you can identify people much easier that way, and they can. Look, the bottom line is, we talked about this morning, Boomer and I. Where do you see yourself every day? I mean, that's really a good question for people to ask themselves: is what are you doing every day? Where do you see yourself? Because if you see yourself as a customer, then then you don't have a daily plan to find other people. If you see yourself as building a business, then you have a plan to contact so many people, and those people, as you just said, would have to be identified as to where they see themselves. I think it's great, Joe. I think it's a great idea. I don't know who came up with that, but it's really, really good. I love the idea of putting them, certain people in certain legs. It's very good. I mean, they identify themselves. They're going to decide which leg they want to be in. It's not even you. It takes it out of your hands.
Right. You know what, Joe, on top of what you were talking about with, earning more just on your own funding, here's a perspective from a guy who's not a day trader, me. Every dollar you're holding right now, is the buying power of that dollar going up or down? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Is the dollar that I hold in my wallet, or my bank account right now, is it gaining buying power, staying the same, or losing buying power? That will help be a decision maker as to how much you're going to want to fund in your account. Think about that for a minute. That's a very important perception. Now, here's the other perception. They're going to print $2 trillion to add to the economy. Do you think that's going to affect the buying power of the dollar? Is that going to dilute the buying power of the dollar? Yeah, you got to answer that question. Will it dilute the buying power of the dollar? Will that dilute the buying power of the dollar in your wallet, how it's going to affect your ability to purchase anything? And the last part is this. It isn't $2 trillion. We're in fractionalized reserve banking system, which means for every dollar that they print, they can loan out 9 more. If you thought $2 trillion was going to be a lot, that's $20 trillion that will be infused over time as it becomes put in, lent out, put in, lent out, put in, lent out in whatever fashions, and you may not even see all of the places where that gets lent out. It may not be really available just to you. Don't know. So remember, if you thought $2 trillion was a lot, that amounts to $20 trillion. And they can can do that by adding a zero or physically printing money. So that's a perspective from the common sense knucklehead here. But I am very aware of how the banking system here in the United States works. And that will affect everybody in any country. So if you're in another country listening to this call, everything that happens here, since we are the world's reserve currency right now, is going to affect everything that you do. My suggestion is you open, you upgrade, you lock in your identity, and you buy gold ASAP, soon as possible. Why? Because all you're doing is you're going to preserve the buying power of the money you got right now. How much of that you decide to do, great. This isn't a checking account in an in-and-out holding account. This is something to preserve your wealth for whatever you've created now, and to hold it for the future. That might be a lifeboat for you. You don't know. In any case, getting started is half done, and anything you save is any amount of money, paper money that you preserve in gold right now is ahead of the game. So I think we're going to see a lot of transitions, and I don't have a crystal ball, but all the indicators tell me this: stocks go up, stocks go down. Gold goes up, gold goes down, and the price of gold is only relative to the buying power of the money that goes to buy it. You know what doesn't change? Every time they print a dollar, it dilutes the buying power of what you have. And if you get that, there's going to be a whole pile of orders today. People are going to be buying a whole pile of orders today. So that's from this perspective. We have got some stuff coming up, guys. We've been bouncing it off some of the top leaders in the company here, and we have what we think is going to be a real means for you to have measurable results with marketing your business. Measurable financial results, recognition for your efforts, being able to utilize the strengths of the individual. Some people may not be great, how should I say, might not be great at prospecting or, in the development of new business, but they're great support people. They're great people that will add their talents to a team effort to be more than we can do individually. And I am looking forward to the next few weeks as we continue to mature in this and we implement some systems here, make them available for you to participate. Everything is optional, but make them available for you to succeed for your reasons why you're doing this. Not mine, not Joe's, your reasons why. Do you want to make $500 a month? Do you want to make $5,000 a month? Do you want to make $50,000 a month? All have different requirements. Whatever your goals are, you trying to get one? Are you trying to replace an income that you lost from the downsizing of companies? If you're trying to do that, you can go to work today. It doesn't even cost you a dime to do it. We have a simple method to do it. You can find those on tips on mykbgold.us on the More tab. There's other programs that we'll be launching here. We plan on doing some training webcasts, short training webcasts, and I look forward to the winners who want to win. And remember, I can't make anybody, but there's hearts of champions in all of you out there, and it's for your reasons. When you identify what those reasons are, you are an unstoppable force, and together we're going to do a lot more than we're ever going to do by ourselves.
Dan, let me give a tip here and I don't know if people do this, but this is what I do, so you can only, from experience, tell people stuff like that. But as you guys talk, when I'm listening, I'm on the call, listening to it, I have a section on my notepad for new quotes, new pieces of information I need when I speak to other people. I have a special area for that on my notepad. And every time I hear something, I obviously jot it into that spot so I can identify it again. I heard some be a big deal and a big enlightenment here, but things that are not in my vocabulary that, again, I can now refer to, because you need to write stuff down. You can't just remember them. But preserve your wealth. I mean, we've heard that before, but I never wrote that down before. It's there now. I don't think I did anyway. It's something you just said, Dan. It's not an in and out account. It's not a checking account. It's not an in and out account. You know, this is an account where you preserve your wealth. I mean, I think that alone, when you're talking, see, some people get stuck with, I think the biggest fear of talking to people and trying to explain, at least even to get them, maybe after they've three-wayed them to a call, after a three-way, there's going to be questions. People are going to say, well, why don't you tell me this? And you don't have that person on the three-way anymore. Joe Norman's gone now. He's hung up. And now you're going to deal with your person. And they're going to say, okay, well, let me ask you this. And you're going to be sitting there going, geez, should I three-way back in? No, you have to have answers. But these are little things that make you look like you know what you're talking about, at least in that area. And you can say things, you know, it's really not my area of expertise because that's why we use that three-way call. But let me answer that for you. This isn't a checking account, Frank. I want you to understand that. This is a way to preserve your wealth. And just adding that gives you confidence to know, and they go, oh, really? And then, of course, you come back with a question. Frank, have you ever had an account where you were preserving your wealth? You always have to remember that technique. When you're going to make a statement to somebody, when you're going to answer their question, you have to finish up with what is called QAQ. It's a principle in phone or any communication. They ask a question, you answer it, and come back with a question. It keeps you in control of the conversation. It keeps you moving forward. With maybe they're not registered yet. Maybe they're going to set up the account, and in the between, they're going to ask you some questions. Remember your objective. Let's get back and let's get this filled out, and let's get it let's get Frank or Mary registered. And in the meantime, a question comes up, and you come up with an answer and back to the question. So, Frank, what is your zip code here? Or, Frank, let's get your information, and have you ever had an account where you were preserving your wealth? No, okay, well, good. We're going to get you started, so let's move. So I just wanted to say that. There's a number of things I wrote down in here, and one of them I didn't get accurately, and that, Joe, you talked about it, is when we're talking about purchasing our own gold. And I know this is the only company in 22 years I've been in this industry that when I make a purchase, I hypothetically, potentially have increased the value. I bought an asset, is what he did. I did not buy this is not an expense any longer. You know, I purchased, you know, juice from the past and vitamins and so on. The minute I get those in my hand, the minute I pay for it, it is now an expense. Certainly I can write those things off in a home business, but it has now become an expense. I have a choice. I can go sell it and get my money back, which most people do not do, or I can take the product, which, again, is now an expense. Even if you're making money, that is still an expense. Here, you're purchasing and potentially, and as Joe said, since 1969, we're up 11, 12%. So here you are with an automatic increase the minute you purchase, potentially. There's a big difference between purchasing here and purchasing in any other company, in my opinion. It's one of the things that drove me here was, was the idea that the market was so big and it had the element of immediately purchasing an asset. So I think we need to understand it. But I would just recommend everybody, when you're listening to people talk, you know, it's like hearing this one thing we talked about a couple weeks ago. I was always taught that when you set your goal, you make it stretchingly realistic. You can't go in and say you've never made more than $5,000 a month or a year even in network marketing and come in and say, wow, what a great company. I want to make $1 million this year. Well, that's wonderful, but you better know the plan to do it. So you make your goal. If you've only made $5,000 a month, maybe $10,000 it should be your goal. It has to be stretchingly realistic. So that's a good term to use when people say, what should I do? Well, how much money do you want to make on a monthly basis to make it worth your time? How much do you need to make on a monthly basis to make it worth your time? Great question to ask.
Great question.
So I just wanted to give you a couple of those things, Boomer, and you guys have one of the things about buying the gold thing, Joe, you said something about you buy and you're the beneficiary of the increase in gold. I think that's what you said, something like that. I jotted that down. I wish I would have wrote fast enough.
What I said was, we all make money two ways. We make money as the price of gold increases. increases, our account value goes up. We make money that way. The second way we make money is by referring others that buy gold.
One of the phrases you said, and again, sometimes you're talking, and maybe this jumped into your vocabulary today, and you said you are the beneficiary of, and it was, the account value going up. But I like the idea that you use that word. I mean, it's just little things that I pick up when I'm talking, and I just hope people do those kinds of things to get it in your vocabulary. So it's pretty cool.
Right. And I think people need to also know that nothing ever goes straight up or straight down. Gold prices the last couple of days have been just completely going south. And does that alarm me? Am I concerned about that? Absolutely not. That's normal and healthy. It's normal and healthy. That happens because traders, floor traders, and even big funds, hedge funds, they take profits. That means they have to sell to realize those gains. They have to do that. They have to pay bills. That's what they do professionally. They have to take profits from time to time. But the overall trend, fundamentals and technicals, is up. And if what happens tomorrow happens that we think is going to happen, guys, it's a license to print money. There's no guarantees that it'll happen. But again, all you can do is all your homework. Just like in college or in school, Joe, you study for a test by doing homework. Is there any guarantees that you're going to get an A+ on that test? Absolutely not. You might have a bad brain day. You just might have a mental blank. You never know. But all you can do is all you can do. And when it comes into what we're talking about with gold prices, especially, that's our business, all you can do is all the research and homework that you can possibly do. And that's, there are a lot. I'm not the only one. We've got people in this business that are way sharper and brighter than I am. And you know what? I listen to them too. They teach me things all the time. They show me new resources, new websites, new places to look, new stones to turn over. And again, all you can do is all you can do. And based on what I know and what I have seen, and those are called fundamentals, I believe that Bernanke tomorrow will announce some type of quantitative easing program. In other words, they're going to find a way. They may coin a new term. I don't know. But a new way to inject more money into the banking system. New money that they print out of thin air, they're going to inject into our economy. Guys, our economy is sick. And for some reason, Bernanke and his cronies and our current administration believe that going into further debt is the way to go. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Joe, I think that in the end, from just a outside perspective, I think that no politician in their right mind, regardless, is going to make a move to make the restrictions necessary to reverse the trends of our economy. They all want to get elected.
Right.
So reality is self-preservation for them. They're going to make moves that are going to have the least amount of effect on the population while they are still in office. In terms of the little pad that you have, Joe Shoop, that you put down, you write down stuff. Here's two great follow-up questions. If you ever get stuck and somebody asks you something that you're not prepared for, one is, you can use at any time when you're talking to somebody if they come up with with something that you don't know how to answer. Are you concerned with all the money the government's been printing out of thin air and how it's going to affect everything that you do and everything that you buy? That automatically shifts it back to a reason why they need to look at it. And the second one is, what did you learn from what you heard or what you saw? That puts them on the place where they need to identify what they did get out of what they saw. And those two little simple questions will help.
me add a third to that, Boomer.
Great.
And this is for someone that doesn't feel like they know enough about the economy and what's going on to ask those questions, because a lot of people, they may not say it, but they might think it. Well, what do you know about it, Boomer? You know, here's what I like to say, or at least advise people to say if you're a lay person, if you're someone brand new. They give you an objection that you just can't handle and you're not comfortable with answering it without them thinking like you're trying to give them a line of baloney. I like to come back with, all right, Bill, I appreciate that question. Are you really serious about getting a good answer to that question, or are you just kidding around? That is a great, because then if they say, well, I'm serious, or I wouldn't have, great, well, listen, let me get Joe Shoop on the phone, let me get Joe Norman, or let me get Dan Jerome, let me get Dr. Then you can go to the bullpen. That's a ticket to call in the bullpen. Are you serious, or are you just kidding around, Bill, about that question? Because I'm serious about this, and I'm serious about getting you an answer that's accurate if you really are serious. So are you serious, or are you just kidding around? That's a good way to address a question you're not comfortable with. Hey, Joe, are there any questions on the board? We've been monopolizing.
5-star, yeah, we need to do that. I was just going to suggest we go to 5-star on the telephone keypad, please. Let's do that. And 5-star, raise your hand, and any questions you want. And we are really going to try to keep this call to a minimum. We're at 11:37 on my clock right now, and we really. But I want to. I got some questions here, and here's the format. Unlock the line. Identify yourself. First name only is fine, and then address the question to the person you'd like to, or anybody really. But I have area code 480. The phone number ends in 15. I've unlocked your line. Just identify yourself, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, this is Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Great call today. Really appreciate the info, and but based on the call, I went straight to my KB site to make a one-time purchase, and I'm locked up. I'm just wondering, does anybody know if there's an issue with the system today?
No, it's not locked up. I just went in.
Okay.
What did you try to do again? Explain it carefully.
Just went into one-time purchases, went down and clicked, checked the box that said, about the money laundering or whatever. And then
what browser are you using? What browser?
Chrome. I'm going to close it all out and try it again. Maybe I got something.
Well, I'm going to log in right now. I'm logging in. I'm clicking on mousing over Marketplace, buy gold. You're trying to do a one-time purchase?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's already defaulted to check one-time purchase. So all you have to do is type the number in there. So I'm going to type in 570 euro and click on I agree. I agree. Purchase. It's spinning. I'm using Mozilla Firefox. It worked. Boom.
Okay.
Right through. It's there right through.
The Firefox.
Now I'm gonna cancel it. I'm canceling that.
Right.
Clicked on Pay Now. It'll take you into the portal where you'll select credit card or bank wire.
Yeah, I've already got an Easy Bonds account all set up with money in it, so I'm going to use that.
You do know Easy Bonds is going to delay your transaction by, I've heard people. In other words, your price is locked in when they receive the money.
Right.
So
even though I've got it in the Easy Bonds account, it's going to still take a while to lock it in?
Yeah. Yes, it does. Easy Bonds can take, up to 5 bit. Even more than 5 bit. Just depends. We have people that it gets done the same day. Depends what country you're in. You're in the USA, and my last Easy Bonds transaction took 7 business days. the funds to clear.
Wow.
Yeah. So just
Okay.
FYI.
They have to do a credit card then. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Well, I'm glad I asked
enough, that 3.5% fee, I anticipate, I used a credit card for my purchases this morning, and I anticipate making them up in one day, one healthy move in the price of gold, and you'll gobble that expense up very quickly.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll keep working on it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Let's see. That hand should be down. It's not down. There it is. There. Let me just go ahead and lock that line again.
By the way, while you're looking for questions, the transactions that I made this morning, I made at 9 a.m. It's now 11:42 a.m. They both went from processed to paid in 2 hours. So the system is working just fantastic. The speed of using a credit or a debit card, I used a debit card actually, a MasterCard debit card for both transactions.
Cool. Very,
that
very
price
good.
is
Any other
locked in
questions?
now. Yep.
5-star. 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. We are at the middle of the hour, so there's questions. Okay. Gotcha is here. Undo the line, and we're ready to go.
Yes, good morning. It's a basic kind of question, but I'm dealing with how to identify the upline to answer questions so that you guys don't get overwhelmed.
Okay, what you need to do is log into your back office. Once you log into your back office, you'll see your dashboard. It says Account Overview. Scroll down to where it says Quick Links, and you'll see those little they're squares. One says the first one Market, and then Genealogy. Click on the Genealogy square.
Yes.
And once that page loads, it'll have your upline. Let's see here. Let me make sure that I'm telling you correctly. Your sponsor it's got their ID number, but it doesn't have their name anymore. So you're not sure who brought you into the program?
I'm trying to identify exactly who, not only who brought me in, but who's working the program as you're suggesting, as you identify players, to support you in three-way calls.
Oh, absolutely, and that's vital. And Joe, we've already discussed multiple times on previous Breakfast Clubs, and we've got these recorded and archived at mykbgold.us. One of the first things I believe people that really want to build a business aggressively and squeeze as much revenue out of this system as you can, I recommend when the minute you register your account, you upgrade to affiliate, you then do your KYCs, and then you buy gold. The next step is to get on the phone, call your sponsor, whoever referred you into the program, someone referred you in, and get their sponsor's phone number. And then keep going up line until you have a minimum of 3 people ready, willing, and able to aid, support, and assist you in every way. So you have 3 pitchers in the bullpen at all times, warmed up and ready to put in the game anytime you want to. Is that not possible from the resources that you have right now?
I no, it's my work, and I can do that.
Okay. Well, if not, Plan B would be to get back on the Breakfast Club. Maybe next Tuesday. We do it every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same channel, same phone number. Everything is always the same. And you can get back on when we open the lines for questions, and we'll get you some help, my friend.
Okay, and my second question is on how many Skype KB Vision forums do we have? And how do I get on there?
10,
how do I identify those?
Maybe Well, you just need to go into the Skype. You have an account with Skype?
Yes, I'm all set up with that.
All right, just
I'm trying to identify the various. I know that you have, the various forums available.
Send me a contact request. Joe.Norman.1, the digit 1. Just send a contact request. Say, hey, Joe, this is Tom here. I was on the Breakfast Club. Add me to a chat room, please. And I'll pop you right in there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's see if we have any other. We do. Let's do this. That, I don't know the name here, but it is area code 619, ending in 86. Again, format, first name. And let's unlock that line, area code 619, ending in 86. Your line is open. Morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Bill Pratt.
Hi, Bill. Welcome.
Bill? Yeah, I have a question about the if you're on the monthly plan for a certain dollar, and if you wanted to purchase your monthly plan today, if you purchase with more money, would that affect anything?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I would encourage you, if you have a monthly plan, log into your back office and mouse over Gold account, and you'll see invoices. Once you set up a monthly plan, it's always going to appear under invoices, and it'll show, it'll show that it's not funded for this month. And then you just click on that, and if you want to add, you just click Pay Now or Buy Now or whatever, and then if you want to add some more to that, you just do a special purchase alongside the monthly plan, and what that will do is accelerate the completion or the completion of the 100 1-gram units. That a monthly purchase plan is a commitment over time that you control to buy 100 of the 1-gram units, and you can accelerate the yield or the payoff or the completion of that by adding extra money to it.
Okay. That answers my question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Bill Pratt. Let's see. Let me close that line. Do you have another question? Another question is from area code 903. Your phone number ends in 90. And welcome to the Breakfast Club. Your line is now unlocked. Please just identify yourself. For some reason, there it goes. It's unlocked now. First name?
Kevin Brown from Dallas, Texas.
Hey, Kevin. Welcome.
Kevin? Yes, thanks. Hey, great call today. Wonderful, wonderful call. One of the best I've heard for the Breakfast Club. And it's really a follow-up, Joe, to Bill's question. When it comes to actually increasing that contract, to actually do that, I've actually tried to do that. What is the process by which you would actually do that? Because it actually has the monthly contract out there, but you can't actually add to the contract.
Well, did you click on the Pay Now or through your Gold account?
Yes. But
okay.
What I've actually experienced, Joe, was that you actually have to go down to the special purchase area, that one-time purchase area, and if you actually put in an amount which is less than the 500 euros, then it will actually default so that you can actually go in there and actually do the monthly purchase plan and then the special purchase plan.
What browser do you use?
Yeah, I use Internet Explorer.
Okay. Internet Explorer does not interact well with their system. Especially if you download the most recent version, and their programmer told me a couple weeks ago that we need to encourage our people to either use Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox is the best.
Okay.
And Internet Explorer, older versions of it, just has, I don't even remember the word he used, but it just doesn't interact well. And some of the functionality, cancel buttons and things like that, and even people that try to execute a purchase just sometimes are having problems with that, and they're trying to figure that out. But they have discovered that if you update in the most recent version, I think if there's any IT guys out there, press 5 star are and help me out here, but I think there's an updated version of IE available that became available a month or two ago that works a lot better, but even it isn't flawless. But Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome pretty much are.
Okay. Now, I have noticed, Joe, that even with the Internet Explorer, the way I was actually able to go around it was that if I did actually put in, say, 50 euros under the one-time purchase, 50 euros for the one-time purchase, of course it won't take it because you have to have 500 euros or more. Then it automatically gave me an error message, and I was able to actually, go in there and change it so that, I could actually increase my monthly purchase.
Well, it's good to know that.
Even go special. Yeah.
Appreciate the heads up with that because it's just another angle that you can crack the code, I guess.
Right. Okay. But I'll definitely make that update and inform folks to do likewise.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. There we go. On any other questions, hit the 5-star. I don't see any more, so let me conclude with this. Unless you want a couple seconds, hit that 5-star. Any other questions? Anything you want covered? Let's see. I do have no. All right. I do have. I don't know if this came back up again, but Bill, let me try this. I'm going to unlock your line 719 ending in 68. I don't know if that jumped back in or you have another question, but you're open.
Good morning, Joe. It's Bill Peters here. Thank you. Firefox, I think, just had an upgrade to 6.0, if I'm not mistaken. And IE, I think, is version 11 now. I'm not sure, Joe, if that helps. My question was to clarify a little bit on easy bonds. I know that the company claims that it takes 5 to 7 days to get your money into the easy bonds account. But, Joe, I guess you're saying that even after your money is in there, it takes another number of days to transfer it from easy bonds to KB?
All I'm doing, Bill, is passing on my experience. I have an easy bonds account. It's funded.
Right.
And when I made my transaction, it took several business days for the funds to clear.
Wow. I know that one of the latest updates from the companies from Easy Bonds said it would take seconds. So, okay, good to know. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill. Okay, any other questions? Let me look again. I don't see any. Let me conclude with a couple things. Let me take you back to the beginning of the call. Thank you for those of you that stayed here, and most people did. I'm going to adjust that just for a second because a number of people, for whatever reasons, have to leave at certain times, and certainly we don't like people announcing it, but they'll do that. You can see that on the chart when we do. We know exactly when people entered and exactly when they leave, and but in the future, as I said, we're going to have an evening call. Now, if you have questions right from the beginning, you can hit 5-star right away so we can recognize those. Certainly, we can see that. We won't be taking it the minute you raise your hand, but we can see that on the board, and that kind of reminds us, instead of talking on and having discussions, we can have questions during the call, no matter what time it is. We can notice it and say, hey, we got a question, let's go here. We don't want to hold questions to the end like normal conference calls go. This is more of a talk show, and you're invited to ask questions right from the beginning. So pass that along, number one, and try to stay on the call, as long as you possibly can. If you have other commitments, that's great, but you hear stuff at the end here that you're not going to hear. So I know it's recorded, but, nothing like hearing it live. That being said, let me take you back to a decision that we made to have the Breakfast Club in the evening as well. A number of people want to hear it live. But the most important thing to me is that we have a female participation. This is an industry that is dominated by women. And I don't know what the percentage is here in KB Vision, but I would imagine it's probably the standard. So we do need to hear from women in the business, and we do need to have leaders step forward. And so that's why we are creating the evening sessions a couple of nights a week. And it doesn't mean we won't be there. It just means that some of us will be on the calls occasionally, like Dan or Dr. Dennis, but we will be there. But we do want to hear from the women with ideas and so on. And so, again, if you have someone you want to recommend, contact one of us and let us know. Number two, if it's you, the same thing. Let us know. You'd like to participate. The process will be we'll talk. We'll have some dialogue with each other to let you know the format, so we understand this is, that we're going to get on and address the entire company and not your group. It's not a call where you're just going to address your own group. It's going to be an overall company-wide group talk. So, but we do want you to participate. So please keep that in mind and make some recommendations, and also recommend yourself. And we will go from there. So with that, we are going to also begin next week again with educating people on the fundamentals of this business. Not just KB, but the fundamentals of the business. How do I talk to someone? If you're in the business here, you need to talk to people, or let's use the word communicate. You must communicate a message. Nobody better than Dan, so you'll be hearing from Dan on, again, how to strike an interest no matter where you are. If you're making a cold call, you're gonna know how to do that. We'll probably run another class in the future on that. In the past, we've done those 4 times a year for the last 10 years. How do I talk to somebody if I don't know them? I don't have a market. I don't want to go to all my friends. Great. And there are people to talk to. There's all kinds of people to talk to, and we'll discuss those strategies on who that may be, how you would find names of people, and then identify the interested party. And that being said, lists of people you know, that you would find out if they have an interest. You do that by exposing them to a short piece of information and find out on a scale of 1 to 10 how they rated the information, or what was their interest level with that information. So that being said, that's the direction we're going, back to an educational format as well, and a discussion, but we will be doing that. So the first 10 minutes of the call is going to be updates. We're going to hear from Joe or Cheryl and get some updates, hopefully not even 10 minutes. Get some quick updates, and then do a little bit of education. In the meantime, asking questions. So just remember, it's a format where you can raise your hand immediately and ask some questions, and maybe want to take the call in a certain direction. If you want to do that and we can go to educational stuff, great. But that's where we're going. So with that, Dan or Joe, you want to say something else before we go?
Sure. We have a live webcast today at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific time at kbgoldevents.com. I encourage everybody to be on that, and the Alfiers group is putting that on. Also, if you want, Joe Norman has a different approach than I do when we talk to people. A great example of that is if you go to YouTube, if you haven't seen it, and you search for KB Vision affiliate, Joe Norman and Mount Helix, Helix. You will see part 2, and that has 2 separate approaches to it on approaching people. And we'll have more tools coming out, and blessings. Joe, do you have anything else?
Well, you said it all, but if you can't remember all of that on YouTube, just go to mykbgold.us and click on a mouse over the More and Recorded Video Gallery. You'll see all those videos. They're all there. It's got a direct link that says More Videos and Tools. We set up a separate website for all those videos, Boomer. It'll take them right there.
I appreciate that. I didn't know if you put it up yet. I have to look. Okay.
We're working on it.
Okay. So, that being said, for Joe Norman and Dan Girolamo, this is Joe Shoop, and thanks for being here at the Breakfast Club. We'll see you today at 3 p.m. and again Tuesday at the Breakfast Club. Same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.